What's your story?
Yeah, so it's been a long journey actually.
What was the root cause of that, and how did you identify it, and how do you help other people to identify their root cause of their burnouts?
So when my soul wasn't aligned to that, my soul is aligned, my purpose is transformation. And when it is not aligned, then you're forcing yourself to do something that you're really not into it. And if you're forcing yourself, then you're not going to get what we call vital force energy from source. When you're not getting that source, you get burnt out. And that's exactly what happened to me.
Who are the people that come to you, and how do you specifically help them with their problems?
My target audience is spiritually conscious entrepreneurs because they will understand my work. And if a person is not even inclined to spirituality, they can come, they can see for themselves how it works. So that is how I help them. I help them from point A to B. What have they come with? What are their problems? What are the issues? And what is stopping them from achieving what they want to achieve?
And also, you said that you went through a breakdown. Is that the pivotal moment that led into all of this?
Absolutely, yes. I had a major breakdown, emotional, mental, because of some personal issue.
They think that if they talk about the spiritual aspect of life, people say, oh, you're so weird. What's wrong with you?
So people think spirituality is to be done only at home. Sit there and meditate and come and be something else on the outside world. It doesn't work like this. The whole purpose of us being here is to experience our soul purpose, right? So we come here, we do what we're supposed to do. That is spiritual. Our work is spiritual. Spiritual doesn't mean you're sitting in one corner of the house and doing meditation and that is it. No, your work, how will you do your soul purpose? It has to be played out in your work.
Tell us, what do you mean by conscious business?
So once you know that what your soul has chosen, you are now consciously going to do that kind of business what your soul has chosen. And I only work with entrepreneurs because they have...
We're here with Arshi Singh. Arshi, welcome to Creator Studio Goa.
Thank you so much. A pleasure.
So we are the first video podcast studio in Goa, and we're going to get to know you, all that you do. And from reading a little bit about you, I understand that you're a lady of many hats. I'd love to know how, many people keep business separate, spirituality separate, and psychology separate, but you've managed to fuse them all together. Tell us how that happened. What's your story?
Yeah, so it's been a long journey actually. I've been on the spiritual path for over 30 years, I think. Yeah. And so I have also tried to keep it separate. But then when I went deep into it, I realized that everything is connected. And the realization came the day I started reading the Akashic records. And I realized how connected we are to spirituality, because the whole reason why we come on earth is to play out our soul purpose. And the soul purpose cannot be different from what you're doing. If you're earning a living, it is absolutely connected. So that's your soul purpose playing out. And if you're not aligned to your soul purpose, then you'll get a lot of obstacles coming your way. So it's not like there is a God up there saying, hey, you down there, I'm going to have a lot of fun, giving you a lot of struggle. It's absolutely not that. It's your soul telling you that, hey, this is not the path we had chosen. You're not going along the path that we had chosen, and now I'm trying to tell you that this is not what it is. So I'm going to throw obstacles your way so that you understand this is not what it is. And if you still don't listen, then I'm going to make you sick so that you literally exit your body, so you can come into a new body, play out the soul purpose, because the whole idea we are here is for our soul purpose. And if we don't follow our soul purpose, then it's a waste of a lifetime.
That's a very interesting take on that. I mean, I've never heard someone put it that way. But let's get a little bit more into who you are. You are a Business Systems International Coaching Federation and neuro coach. That's a lot,
yes.
First of all. You are an advanced Akashic Records reader, cognitive hypnotic psychotherapist, and trainer. It's a lot to fathom. As you said, it all came by, but how did it all come together in your current work?
Yeah, so when I was in advertising marketing and had a burnout there, okay, and then I realized, no, I need to shift to something creative. And then so I got into interior design for 18, 19 years, 100 plus projects. And so that's the learning in advertising marketing, doing MBA, whatever. That's a business system where I get that from. And then creativity happened, and then this transformation work happened. In the time when I was into interior design, I got into Akashic Records reading, right? And then I realized when I'm when clients come to me for a reading, I take about 2 days to download their soul information, because if I try to do it in one shot, I get very spaced out. So I do it in 2 days, and then it takes me 1.5 hours to explain to them their all the downloads, their purpose, their gifts, and all the karmic negative blocks that they have collected, which is not aligning their soul purpose. When I was doing that, so much of information, I realized clients don't take action, and we are in a 3-dimensional world. We have to take action. So I said, okay, how do I make them take action from point A to B? Then I started getting into coaching. It's just not one fine day you wake up and say, now I'm a coach. It's not like that. You want to qualify, you want to understand the science behind coaching so that you can help your clients achieve your goals. So that's how ICF coaching happened, neuro coaching happened. And then I helped my clients, to go from A to B, because we all have a purpose, a goal, which they want to, they're not able to achieve. After that, I realized that, whatever is downloaded in the Akashic records and whatever mind coaching and goal coaching that we're doing, they're deep-rooted issues that are coming in while we are trying to achieve the goal. So I had to work on deep-rooted issues, emotional and mental. So that's how psychotherapy came in. Then I realized that no matter what you do with your mind, there is a subconscious that is larger than the conscious mind, and it is literally 80 to 95% of our lives are run by the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
Now this 10% is only taking a decision based on your subconscious mind. So no matter how much I tell my clients whatever, nothing is going in the subconscious mind, because the programs that are there in the subconscious mind has been embedded from the ages of 0 to 7 or in past lives. So if you've had parents who've been saying, you're not good enough, you are going to amount to nothing, and the negative programming, that becomes a permanent program for their life. Now, no matter how much they work and say, no, I'm going to be positive, do your affirmations, whatever, it will not sink into the subconscious mind. So subconscious mind programming had to be done. I had to get into clinical hypnotherapy. And then if I get into something, then I deep dive. Then I became a trainer there. Then I also, when you're in the subconscious mind, you regress. You can regress till the womb, and sometimes clients land up in another lifetime because we've gone with a problem. Now they've landed up in another lifetime with that problem where it originated first. So then past life regression happened, and then again I had to qualify for that. I certified, diploma, whatever, and then I deep dive into it and became a trainer as well. Now the journey that I have, it has been a journey of 5 years, and I realized, okay, spiritually you need to be aligned. You also need to have a system to achieve your goals, and then also deal with your emotional, mental issues with psychotherapy, and finally embed your goals, your new goals. That's how clinical hypnotherapy works. You embed the goals that you want to achieve. So that has been the journey. And then obviously business systems will come somewhere, because you're coming here for your work. I work with entrepreneurs. They want to achieve a certain goal in their life, right? A business goal. So that's how the business systems, processes, AI comes in the second phase.
Very interesting. You said so many things. You said you became a trainer. What kind of trainer?
So I am a clinical hypnotherapist trainer.
So you train other coaches,
psychologists, healers, therapists, all of them.
And from what I understand, this just started 5 years ago.
Yes, it's been a journey. It was from Akashic Records. I've done hundreds of Akashic readings, and then it became coaching, and then it became psychotherapy, and then it became hypnotherapy, and past life integrates. It's like a bridge everywhere.
Amazing. And also you said that you went through a breakdown.
Yes, I
Is
did.
that the pivotal moment that led into all of this?
Absolutely. Yes, I had a major breakdown, emotional, mental, because of some personal issue. And then that was the time I came across this book called Laws of the Spirit World by Khorshid Bhavnagri. Now, this is a real life story of her sons. When they were in Mumbai, they met with an accident and they died. And when they died,
Both of them died.
Both of them died because they were into car racing, and they were also mechanics, and it's a Parsi lady in Dadar, Parsi colony. So she was devastated, and she was not able to deal with it, and so she was trying. And now this is the beautiful part: the sons can see her in depression. They're in a higher realm, and now because they're in a higher realm, and it is really beautiful compared to Earth. So they could see the mother, and they were not able to enjoy that beautiful realm because the mother is into depression. So they found one Kapoor auntie in Dadar colony who is a medium. We have mediums who can talk to souls of the dead people. Now, people are so scared. Even Akashic Records has a lot of soul attachments and stuff like that we clear because they are also stuck. It's like people don't know they're dead. So it's like today I am who I am in my body, but if I die, I'm a spirit. I'm still a spirit. It's like, woo, people get so scared of it. But we are all spirits in the end of the day. This is just a body, right? So they found a medium who could talk to the mother, and then it was evidential, which means, how do you know that it is my son? So they had to give instances of whatever happened that between the mother and the son. So she believed it, and she wrote a whole book about it. And in that, when I was reading, I was crying uncontrollably, not because I was sad. Then I realized that there are other worlds, other galaxies, and other parallel universes from where souls come. We are not only from Earth. And that touched me so hard because I used to feel trapped, on Earth. Now I know that there are different avenues that you can exit. Earth is just one school. So when I was crying uncontrollably because I found this answer, there was a physical. Now I was on my bed, with my back rested on the bed back, and I was straight, lying with my legs straight. Because I was crying uncontrollably, on my right leg I felt a warm touch of a hand. And that was so healing. And I wasn't scared because it was so beautiful. It was so nice, that experience. It was a sort of awakening. That was my turning point. And I said, okay, I'm done with interiors. This is different. This feels different. I felt a very strong pull to do spiritual work. And that's how I started getting into Akashic readings. And I was doing hundreds of Akashic readings. And I realized, then has been a journey of coaching and psychotherapy and hypnotherapy.
Interesting. So we are going to get more into that a little later. But since we started off with business, tell us, what do you mean by conscious business?
So once you know that what your soul has chosen, you are now consciously going to do that kind of business what your soul has chosen. And I only work with entrepreneurs because they have freedom to do and change. So supposing you're doing a business that is not aligned, okay, but you can take the energy of what your soul chose and put it in that existing business. So now it is a conscious way of working. Now I not only do Akashic Records, I also do business Akashic Records reading. In fact, I'm the only one so far in India who's doing this business Akashic reading. And you'll say, oh my God, how can business be an Akashic reading? But it's energy. Everything is energy. Now your business is an entity. So I download that also, your business Akashic Records reading, and I say that, okay, where are you stuck? Are you stuck in marketing, sales, systems, contributors? Where are you stuck? So, or is it product, or is it services? So when Akashic Record downloads happen, your soul has chosen a purpose, and that needs to be your work. What else is it? It is not spirituality, sitting and meditating the whole day and you doing some different work that is not aligned to what your soul purpose is, right? So when you have chosen what you have chosen, that transforms to the soul business. So it's literally soul aligned business. And then the business systems also depend on, every soul has a different way of doing marketing. Not everybody's success formula is the same, because every soul has, maybe you're an experiential soul where you then need to have videos, you need to be experiential, more hands-on. But if you are, say, a soul that is, let's say somebody has chosen as the sole purpose as communication, then words it is words. You don't have to put any visuals. Even your only words will work because that's what your soul has chosen. And similarly, the way you market, the way you do your sales, it has to be in alignment with what your soul chose. In Manifesting Blueprint, these are the building blocks of your soul. So we understand how are you made to manifest. So it is a very soul aligned business system.
So for many people, they have no idea what Akashic Records are.
Absolutely.
All right. You've been speaking a lot about it, but to the layman, what does this word mean? Where does it come from? And tell us more about it.
So Akashic reading, Akashic is Akasha in Sanskrit. Akasha means ether. Now what happened, everybody's so confused, everybody's so misled. They think Akashic Records is an Indian origination. It name Sanskrit, Akashic is Sanskrit, but there is this lady called Helena Blavatsky. She was a Russian immigrant in New York. She used to get these downloads, okay, and then she said, wow, I don't know what to call this, I need a name for this. So she was reading Buddhist scriptures, and there she came across the word Akasha, and she said, this is exactly what I feel like. I'm downloading from somewhere else, ether. So she called it Akashic Records. And she's the first one who worked on the Akashic Records and downloaded. In fact, in India, if they claim to be that it is an Indian thing, it is not, because if it was, then it would have been there for us to learn. There was nobody who was teaching Akashic Records in India. I learned it from a psychic in the US for like 2 years. So this is how Akashic Records came about. Now, it is basically like an energetic database in ether. So everything is recorded. Some people say, whatever I'm doing, who cares who's recording it, right? But everything you say, think, do is recorded in the Akashic Records. And from there you can download. You have to take the soul's permission. It's not like your permission. You can tell me, yes, consciously go ahead and read my Akashic Records. But if your soul refuses, I cannot snoop around. You cannot snoop around somebody without the soul's permission. So, and the soul will share only that much it is ready to transform. Supposing somebody has murdered somebody in some life, they're not able to digest that. It will not be downloaded. I will not get to know it. Only when they're ready. Yes, and I have clients who have murdered other people in some lives and whatever they're going through now, but they were ready to face it. So they have to be ready. So that is what Akashic Records is.
First time I'm hearing that. So basically, these are records that are stored in the medium or the ether or the universal consciousness. Is that what you're
Perfect,
saying?
yes. It's like a collective consciousness, yes.
Okay. And you very interestingly said that you are the first in India who does business Akashic Records.
Correct.
How do the two worlds merge, and how can you make sense of it?
Yeah, so if your business has been in existence for at least 2 years, then it has formed an entity, an energetic entity. And since everything is energy, so you ask in the Akashic Record about that business. And because I have a business background, I'm able to ask the right questions of where a client can get stuck business-wise. And it's exactly like a business plan, but with a soul attached to it, with a spirituality attached to it. And since we have come to do our soul purpose, it perfectly makes sense.
Interesting. You also said that you can access these records, right? So how do you access them? You need a person's permission.
Absolutely.
And what insights or healing can they gain from this?
So first of all, we need the birth details. You can't just suddenly close your eyes and start downloading. You need the birth details. Why? Because so many souls, whose record are you checking? Birth details will allow me to check that soul's Akashic record.
Like which birth
Like
details?
your name, present name at birth, because people change their names if they do. The date of birth, place of birth. Time is not so important because there is no concept of time in 5D. Akashic records are in 5D. We are in 3D. There's 4D. There are 11 dimensions.
What is 5D then?
So 5D, like how we have 3D, is a dense dimension that we are in, and it is physical. But as you go up and up, it becomes energetic. So there is no physicality up there.
All right. So yes, what insights can people get from these, and what healings can they expect?
So the first thing that they will come to know is their soul purpose. Why are they here on earth? Where have they come from? Not every soul is from earth. We come from different galaxies, parallel universes. So where have you come from? Because wherever you come from, you bring certain characteristics. So if you say that you're from Goa, I know that there are certain characteristics of you. I can have that in my mind. And if somebody is from Mumbai, then I know these are the certain characteristics of that person. So those characteristics are your gifts, which you bring from another galaxy. So you need to use those gifts.
Would you also call them stereotypes?
Not really, because everybody is unique, right? So a cluster of souls that have come from a particular galaxy, that would have similar characteristics. Like people in Mumbai are similar. Similarly, people in Goa are a little bit similar. So they're not stereotypes, but those are the characteristics.
And why would people want to access these business Akashic records?
First of all, they will need to access the personal records because you come to know where you're from, what your gifts are, what you've chosen. You also get to know a lot of negative patterns that are stopping you from achieving what you want to achieve. These negative patterns you have collected over lifetimes. So they are stopping you from achieving because they are not in alignment with your soul's purpose, and you will not get the vital force energy to move ahead. Now, with having said that, the business Akashic records is the entity. So when you're downloading the Akashic records, you come to know so much about yourself, you come to know your soul purpose, you come to know who you are at soul level. Once you know that, you cannot do something that your soul hasn't chosen. So business Akashic Records then extends the type of marketing you need, the type of sales you need, the type of systems you need, what are even the contributors in alignment, because you can be a business and there'll be people who are not in alignment with your financial intention or your business growth. So even they could be interfering. In fact, delivery people, if your system of delivery is not in alignment, can be affecting your business. There's so many nuances to the business Akashic Records.
Very interesting. I mean, it makes total sense what you're saying about how these records can help people understand the processes. You also mentioned about clinical hypnotherapy. Now, I'm guessing that hypnotherapy is a form of reaching your subconscious mind.
Correct.
What is clinical hypnotherapy?
So you'll see a lot of these videos where on stage people turn people into some, make them cluck like ducks,
Yes.
or make them do all these weird things. So that's stage hypnosis.
Right.
Now clinical hypnosis is because we use it for therapeutic uses, for therapeutic interventions. So when we are using it for therapy, it is no more stage hypnosis, which is staged literally, because you have to know your suggestibility type. What kind of a subconscious language does your subconscious understand? So based on that, you can hypnotize a person in a particular way. So that is clinical hypnosis, because we are using it for clinical uses, which is literally therapy.
Okay.
And not staged.
Got it.
And not a stage hypnosis.
Basically, it's a form of treatment on a one-on-one basis.
Yes, and yes, it directly affects your subconscious mind, because that's where all programs are coming, based on which how your life is.
All right. And now you also spoke about past life regression. This means that a person has had a past life.
Correct.
But there is a huge population in the world that does not believe in past life.
Absolutely.
They believe that you live only once and you go to the next realm. So how do you explain this, and what is past life regression?
So those people who don't believe in past life, I'm not here to convince them. They are not even my target audience. That's why I work with spiritually conscious entrepreneurs who understand the concept of rebirth. So that's one. So I'm not here at all to convince them. So past life is who you were in your past life. That's past life. So when we are working, for example, there was this client of mine, she was only coming across men who were emotionally unavailable. So we started regressing and finding out the root cause of it. And she found out that
Can you explain this term regression?
So regression is when you regress in time.
So when you go backwards in time.
So if you are, say, 40 years old and you're 30, 20, 10, you go into the womb. You can also then go into the past life. If you're not getting an answer from this life, then you also end up going into a past life. So we started doing the regression for her, and she ended up in a life where she was a soldier. So in that lifetime, she had a family, and when she went to the battlefield, she died. She was a he.
Okay.
And it was devastating to her to see her family miserable and crying, and she felt as if she had not done her duty. She felt guilty. So that lifetime she promised that she's not going to have a family, so that she doesn't get anybody into pain, into trouble. But now this lifetime, when she's looking for someone, that program is still running, that no, you're not going to get into a relationship, because if you do, you're going to create pain for the other person. So she will find people who are unavailable, so she cannot get into any deep kind of relationship.
Okay, so she's willing to get into a deep relationship,
This life.
but they
This
are
life, yeah, because
unwilling.
this is her subconscious programming. She's going to just push them away, right? So she's going to find, if you're going to push people away, what are you going to do? And you're also consciously trying to attract somebody. So there is a attracting point here, and there is a pushing away. So when you're pushing away, and this life you're trying to attract, you're attracting people who are not going to be available for a relationship.
So who are the people that may require this kind of counseling?
So everyone thinks, oh, I don't need a coach, I don't need a therapist, and I don't need any of this. But when they come into my program, then they realize that, because we start with a structure, a framework. So if you're at a current situation, you need to go to a desired outcome. When we start planning, we do our whole planner, we do our action items and the task list. Then when I have given them certain tasks to do for their goal, they come back to me saying, I'm not able to do that. What happened? I'm procrastinating, let's say. Now that's a mental issue. Now that is when therapy starts working. So these are the kind of people you will start working on them, because it is not an isolated incident. Everybody goes through emotional and mental blocks, but they just even don't even know that they have them, and they think it's a part of life and you have to live with it and push with your willpower against something that you're not doing. For example, having willpower to push against procrastination is not going to work. That's when therapy, psychotherapy, past life, hypnotherapy comes into place.
Let's also talk about future programming of goals. So basically, you're saying you have goals, right? They're
Correct.
going to be there for the future,
Right.
and you can program a person to achieve those.
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yes. The subconscious mind is literally like a mini god. Whatever you tell the subconscious mind, it will achieve it for you. There is no doubt about it. If the clinical hypnotherapist has done a good job, if they know exactly how to embed the program. So that's why you need certification and you need to do this job properly. So if the subconscious mind has been programmed, okay, what do you want to achieve? They come first session, I want to do this, right? So we understand the modalities of the subconscious mind, the sub-modalities. So we find those characteristics and we turn that into a script where, okay, this person wants to achieve this goal, that goal. Like, it's a day in that client's life after they have achieved everything they want to, because the subconscious mind does not know time. And also, it does not know reality from imagination. So when we program the subconscious mind with all the imagery, like you've lived that life, that becomes a future goal programming in your subconscious mind. And it is like autopilot. It will start attracting things that will lead you to your goals.
Interesting. So basically, after you do this, you get a lot more clarity.
Yes.
And it's, as you said, on autopilot.
Yes. Your clarity is from Akashic records, from your coaching, from your psychotherapy, and then this is your programming stage. So things start working the way you want them to.
So how does all of this get into practical reality? How do you combine all of this into practice?
So literally, it's on my dashboard. You start process 1, 2, 3, 4 till you reach. It's a 12-week program. It's not a shortcut. There are no shortcuts. So you start from week 1 till 12, and you will achieve your tangible goals for what you have come to me for. And if you're doing what you're supposed to do.
And this is in business and in life, or
so
how
it
does
starts with
work?
your personal Akashic records, and then business Akashic records, and the processes and the systems and the AI. Why AI? Because
you use AI also in this?
I use AI also, because
Wow.
in the
Okay.
end of the day, what I have realized is the business owners are so busy, drowned in operations. So these are the repetitive tasks, right? Now these repetitive tasks would normally be a physical system before AI, but now it becomes a AI system. So I have a AI CEO dashboard where all the repetitive tasks are there, where you don't have to worry about leads coming in. What are you going to do? Are you going to reply to each one of them? No, that is very tiring. So they go from the funnel, they come into the dashboard, the CRM, where you manage all the leads. And if you want to send them an automatic email welcoming them, and then the next steps, or if you want to assign tasks to your team, and one place where you can see what is the status, where is it right now, and has it been completed, or if you want to send an automatic invoice instead of doing this manually. And if you're going to be, everybody has to be there on the social media, so you will have to post your reels. You're not going to say, wake up one day, say, hey, today I'm going to post this, and tomorrow I'm going to do this. That's going to be tiring. That's going to become your full-time job. So there is a technique where we use it in a way that all your social media posts are posted for the whole month. You don't have to do anything. So this entire thing comes on the AI CEO dashboard.
Wow. So we've already started getting into structure, right?
Yes.
And you do say that structure, not stress.
No.
Right? I've seen that you've already gotten into structure, but can you tell us more how entrepreneurs can get more structured instead of stressing out on all these things?
So the first thing when my clients come, when I make a planner for them, when we're sitting and doing the planning of the day and the whole week, then they realize that there is so much of time that they're wasting unnecessarily. Once you have a planner, you know what exactly you're supposed to do. And once you know what you're supposed to do, your processes are in place, your systems get in place. When that happens, you automatically reduce your stress level. And then you use the AI CEO dashboard all your repetitive tasks are taken care of. That's when you get the free time to do what you're supposed to do, that is run your business, which is go out and get more clients and not drown in operations.
So it looks like you're not just getting into the psychotherapy, you're not just getting into the subconscious, you're also getting into very practical business tools that use AI, that use technology to help these business owners to succeed.
Correct. And I really feel AI is not something that we should be scared of. I think it is here to help. I mean, there are a lot of groups in the spiritual world which say that AI is actually coming from another world to help us, and it's not something to fear.
Interesting. Never heard that, but all right.
Yeah, in the spiritual realm, a lot of things are possible. We get a lot of other downloads as well.
Yeah. So, there are some people who struggle. Sometimes it's a strategic issue. Sometimes it could also be a subconscious. How do you help them differentiate?
So if it is a strategy that they've been using, that means I will check, is this strategy aligned with their soul purpose? That is from the Business Akashic Records. If it is aligned, then it would not be a strategy problem. It would be a subconscious problem, because if everything is right, you're doing everything perfectly, but there is a program running in your subconscious mind that is going to only bring in obstacles, then it's not going to work. So that is when the psychotherapy tools, we peel down to understand what is the crux or the core of the problem. Then we use the subconscious tools to get rid of that block.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So you previously mentioned about the burnout that you had after working in the ad film industry or advertising,
Yes,
right?
yes.
What was the root cause of that, and how did you identify it, and how do you help other people to identify their root cause of their burnouts?
So when my soul wasn't aligned to that. My soul is aligned. My purpose is transformation. My purpose is business coaching. That is what my soul has chosen. So I combined the both. And advertising and marketing was not that for me. In a sense, typically advertising. I was in advertising. So that was not aligning to my soul purpose. And when it is not aligned, then you're forcing yourself to do something that you're really not into it. And if you're forcing yourself, then you're not going to get what we call vital force energy from source. When you're not getting that source, you get burnt out. And that's exactly what happened to me. But now I can work 18 hours, I'm not joking. Even though I have my plan and everything in place, and I'm supposed to take off on Saturdays and Sundays, but the work doesn't feel like work. So I'm not burnt out. I love what I do.
So basically you're saying if a person works on something which is not part of their purpose in life, that's when they get burnt out.
Absolutely.
So you're helping people to find their purpose and align to their purpose so that burnout doesn't become a thing, but it becomes you're working out of passion.
Correct. And that is what makes you successful.
Could you give an example of someone that was burnt out, but you helped them find their passion?
Yes, so I remember this client of mine. He was from California. He came to me post-COVID, and he was running these supermarket stores. And after COVID, everything shut down. Nothing was working. He was absolutely depressed. His relationship broke, and he came to me at that stage. And he's like, I don't feel like doing anything anymore. So then we did the whole Akashic reading. We also did all the therapy and everything. And so he's from Procyon. That's another galaxy where when you as a soul literally come to Earth by mistake. It's like that. And he's not able to go back now because Procyon has a isolation policy where the souls are not getting back. So now he told me that he always feels purposeless and directionless. So souls from Procyon are very directionless. So we realized that he's not meant to do business on his own. Here, a franchisee will work perfect for him. And whatever his soul chose, for example, it was experiential. So it means that physicality, which means that real estate. So he became a realtor because that is what aligned to him most. And he didn't do it alone. He joined a franchisee. That franchisee gives him the direction. So it blended perfectly for him. And that is how his purpose was aligned. And how should we strategize so that he's not directionless.
That's a great example. Thank you for sharing that.
You're very welcome.
So you're saying that he went through a 12-week program as well?
In fact, he went through a whole 1 year. He's still with me. Because he had a lot of issues. He had ADHD and a lot of other depression and a lot of other things. So we had to work and work and work. But he's in a very good space right now. He's working, he's earning the way he should. He's dating, which he had stopped. He had put on so much of weight. He wouldn't go to the gym because of the experiences that he's had, and now he's waking up in the morning, doing his kriya, his spiritual practices, and he goes to the gym, and he does his work, and he goes for dating. So his life has changed 180 degrees.
Okay, so your 12-week program is very unique. Can you tell us what is so unique about it, and how do you differentiate it from other coaches' programs?
So, this has again been my life journey. When I was in my low state, I went to a healer, astrologer. So they would tell me whatever, and yet I'm not able to achieve my goals because there is no implementation strategy that an astrologer or tarot card reader or healer will give, because how to achieve goals is a different science. So if I went to a coach for that matter, so that I would achieve my goals in a systematic way, the coach does not know what the healer has said. There is no alignment here. And the healer has said something that is not aligned with the coach. The coach does not know what the healer has said. So there is no connection. So again, the goals become very difficult to achieve. Once you go to the coach, supposing you do go to the coach, he doesn't know how to heal you from inside out either. And he also does not know if there are therapy tools that you're supposed to use. If you go to a therapist, the therapist does not know what the coach has done and what the healer has done. So then there is a disconnect here. Now, it's just not working in alignment. So here what you get is the spiritual alignment. You get the science of how to set your goals and how to achieve them. Plus you get therapy. And not only that, you get subconscious programming, and you get your 90-day business plan ahead with your AICO dashboard. And if they want to go to the next level, the funnels, the marketing, everything that also we provide. We collab, right? So if this entire journey needs to be with one person, because this person knows every facet of your life, and that is what is very unique about me, because I have taken years to get to this stage with my life's experience and understanding what one needs. That is why this is so unique. And Business Akashic Records is the most unique right now.
Yeah.
I'm the only one doing this.
It's like, having a general practitioner doctor that you go to who knows everything, instead of going for heart to a heart specialist, to chiropractor separately, and all of them not knowing each other,
Right.
and not knowing you in a holistic way.
But
a GP would know you holistically.
There is a difference. A GP is not a specialized person, but I am specialized in all these three also.
Wow.
That's the
Okay.
difference, because if I was just a GP, I will not be able to deep dive, heal, deep dive and set goals, deep dive and program. No, I am a specialist in all these three areas.
Business, psychotherapy,
Spirituality.
and spirituality. Very interesting. I've not heard of anyone who does that, so
there
definitely it's
isn't.
very unique. So you use various modalities to support people's business growth, right? One is IFS, which is Internal Family System. Tell us what that is and why is that important?
So IFS, I'm a certified IFS therapist. Who originated this, who came up with this is Dr. Schwartz, and he's a psychologist, psychotherapist. So he came up with this internal family system. And what is internal family system is our own parts, which are families to us. So these are parts. A part of you may want to do this work, but there's a part of you that doesn't want to do that work. Now those parts can be anything from procrastinating, from depression, from anything that is negative, basically, not letting you do what you want to do. So that is internal parts. So as an IFS therapist, we talk to these parts. So literally these parts talk back to us. When I put you into a little bit of hypnosis, these parts talk to me. They talk to the client, who in turn tells me what the part is saying. So if the part is saying that I don't, like, there is this client of mine who was procrastinating. So I said, when we did the whole planning and everything, and I said, why haven't you finished this task that you had been assigned? She said, I don't know, I'm just procrastinating a lot, so I'm not able to do. So then I put her into a hypnotic state, and so we spoke to the part, which is the procrastinator, and asked, why are you trying to do what you're doing? And we found out that this part was so scared that if she starts doing all this work, she's going to get so busy that she's not going to find time for her child. She's not going to find time for the life that she wants to lead. So this part was protecting her so that she doesn't get into this business, so that she is able to spend the me time and the time with her child. That was a discovery. So then when we made the planner, so we said, okay, here is your me time for your daughter. This is your me time for yourself. You go do spa, you go do whatever you want. And then she started doing all the tasks because now that part was taken care of. And what we call is we unburden the part, because that part has been,
Trying to protect.
It's also burdened. It doesn't want to do that. So there are a lot of parts like that in the body that try to work thinking that they're protecting us, but they're not. So we have to unburden each of them.
Is it something like intuition?
No, that's completely different. Intuition is something that comes from your sixth sense. These are parts, they have their own mind, they have their own emotions, they have their own thoughts. They come up thinking that, I have to protect this person because this person is not able to protect himself.
So you use modalities like IFS and Akashic records to support people's business goals. How do you integrate that?
So it depends on whatever the problem is coming. Whatever the kind of problem is, whether I should use coaching skills, whether I should use NLP, whether I should use therapy, whether I should use IFS, all happens at the time when the client comes and tells me that this is a hindrance, I am not able to move. Why are you not able to move? Because I'm feeling like this or I'm thinking like this. So either ways, if it is thinking, so I know it is psychotherapy. If I'm feeling, then I know which tools to use. Could be IFS, could be any one of them. I just pick up from my bag.
Wow. So how do people find you? Who are the people that come to you, and how do you specifically help them with their problems?
My target audience is spiritually conscious entrepreneurs because they will understand my work. And if a person is not even inclined to spirituality, they can come, they can see for themselves how it works. So that is how I help them. I help them from point A to B. What have they come with? What are their problems? What are the issues? And what is stopping them from achieving what they want to achieve? Once I come to know that, then we set a plan. The entire 12 weeks is dedicated to overcoming those hindrances and setting new goals and programming them. And that is how I help them.
And how do they discover the spiritual side, and how do they discover you?
So yes, I have been trying to do my best to come up on social media and make my presence felt. So that is how, and I run ads and Facebook ads, so that's how I get my clients. And also there is a referral, because once a person goes through my journey, they refer a lot of people.
Interesting. We'd love to hear some transformation stories. Can you share a few?
So one transformation that I shared was about the California client, how he went from no motivation to doing something else totally. Then there was another client of mine who was a physiotherapist, and she had done her physiotherapy from London and was doing absolutely nothing when she came back. She was not able to set up a clinic. She was not able to get clients. She was just doing something totally different, that was social media marketing for someone else. So when she came to me, we understood what her sole purpose was. We took the energy of that and applied it to her physiotherapy work. And
so, just curious, what was her sole purpose?
So she was, in fact, her sole purpose was very unique. It was divine power, which means that she can do any kind of business. So divine power people are on a plane where they are best business people, the best entrepreneurs. So she would have made a best entrepreneur. But now, because she had spent so much of money doing physiotherapy from abroad, so we make that into a business. And that she set up her clinic. She started getting clients and everything changed. So that's a success story, big one.
Okay, and now she's expanded the
Yes,
clinic.
now she then there is no limit. Now you go open your clinics as franchisee or many other places. You can do that too.
All right. And we have heard of some results, right? But what kind of results can people expect? And I'm guessing people come to you with various issues because everyone is unique, right? So they can experience different results as well. Can you share about that?
So the first shock like they get is when I read the Akashic records and they don't even know that these were the problems that they were facing. And when I tell them this, and they said, yes, this is what I'm going through. Oh my God. So like another client of mine came, now he wants to be successful in his CA business. He's come to me and I'm downloading his information, and it is so specific. It is not general. So they're like literally 26 negative patterns that I download. Now in one of the patterns I got the download was that he physically beats himself up. That's so specific, right? So when I told him this, he had goosebumps. He's like, how do you even know this? This is too personal. So I said, see, listen, if you're going to hit yourself, beat up yourself physically, which means you hate yourself, which creator or universe is going to say, okay, fine, you do good in business? That means you don't like yourself, you don't love yourself. So the first thing we had to work on him was self-love.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one big thing that we did. Once we did that, then we set up systems, his processes, businesses in alignment to what his soul chose to do. And that is how he made a progress. It shifted his life. That's one more thing.
You know, so a small experience that I'd like to share. Just the other day, we tried a new podcast, completely different from what I normally do. And basically, I was on a therapy bed, looking up at the camera, and somebody was asking me questions. And at the end of the interview, he said, I loved your honesty. Because, and I was confused, what do you mean by honesty? He said, many people, they think that if they talk about the spiritual aspect of life, people say, oh, you're so weird, or what's wrong with you? And I'm sure people think that about this field when you talk about spirituality. So what are some misconceptions people have about Akashic records or past life regression, or the work that you do apart from your psychotherapy and business analysis? What are the misconceptions they have about it, and what would you like to say about it?
So people think spirituality is to be done only at home. Sit there and meditate and come and be something else on the outside world. It doesn't work like this. The whole purpose of us being here is to experience our soul purpose, right? So we come here, we do what we're supposed to do. That is spiritual. Our work is spiritual. Spiritual doesn't mean you're sitting in one corner of the house and doing meditation and that is it. No, your work, how will you do your soul purpose? It has to be played out in your work. That is how this works.
Okay. So
so if they think that, or they think spirituality is taking sannyas, for example. Spirituality means don't earn money. I have souls whose purpose is to earn money. Now what do you say to that? They have chosen a purpose of abundance. Their whole purpose is to enjoy the physicality of life, to earn money, to have riches. It looks like they are chasing money, but that is the purpose. And we have this one general rule, okay, everybody should not look at money, everybody should become spiritual. No, but everybody has to have that kind of money to be able to enjoy good life. Nobody has come to punish you. You use your soul purpose and earn your money.
Yeah.
If you were to take sannyas and not talk about money, you would have done that. So people think spirituality is something like, get into a meditative state and go and take sannyas in some hill or mountain. But if you have come here in this space where we are right now, then you are supposed to play out your karma, whatever you've chosen to do. If you were to take sannyas, you wouldn't be in this mist. You would leave. You would go. But I have clients who come to me, and when I'm reading, they come to me with a lot of struggle. When I'm reading the Akashic records, they have a vow of poverty, vow of sacrifice, vow of silence, vow of obedience and stuff like that. And they have joined a religious organization in their previous lifetime. Now, because they have joined a previous lifetime, they've gone through some sort of a ceremony where they have said, okay, money is bad, money is evil, and if you want to get spiritual, you have to keep money aside. And now these same people are back here in the world, and now they're not able to earn money.
Yes.
So I had this client, I was downloading her information and I found a vow of poverty. And I'm like, this is there. She said, no, I'm doing well. My husband earns well. Everything is good. So I said, okay, let it be, After a year, she messages me, whatever I do in my life, it doesn't work out. I do so many things. I get into this, I get into that, and I set up everything and other people make money out of it, but I don't make any money out of it. I said, see, remember I told you vow of poverty? This is exactly what a vow of poverty is. It will not let you make money. Because now you're going to get only the money that is like charity, like how you would get in a religious organization. So that is the vow of poverty that is working. So then she realized this is vow of poverty. Now, these people take all these vows, they go through ceremonies, and then they come, now they want to live, they can't live because they're not able to make the money because of those vows. So those things have to be cleared. And if you had some desire in you left of achieving something or the other in this lifetime or in a previous lifetime, then you will be born to complete that. Now, we have to clear the vow of poverty so that they can achieve what they have to achieve. So spirituality is not something different. It is totally imbibed in our work, and it has to be who we are at soul level, not something different.
Mm-hmm. Totally makes sense. Now, most entrepreneurs think that entrepreneurship, you have to work 70 hours a week. You got to work for long hours. You got to hustle, hustle, hustle. But slowing down is also important, right?
Absolutely.
However, they think that slowing down means that they're going to lose their edge, they lose their competitive edge. But you're able to make entrepreneurs slow down without losing that edge. How do you do that?
So there is a process, right? Once you have a process, your systems are in place, you know where your time is, you know this is my me time. When you have those laid out in front of you, you're not going to overlap it. You are going to take your Saturdays and Sundays off, right? But if you don't have a plan, you don't have a system, then you're all over the place hustling. So how are you going to get a downtime? Nothing. And if you don't have downtime, trust me, you will not be able to perform your best.
So you definitely advocate for downtime. You
Absolutely.
advocate for rest.
Absolutely. I'm saying Saturdays, Sundays are your days. One day is not enough to unwind, and because one day goes in doing your chores in the house. So you have, it's a need. This is the reason why so many people are going through also burnout, stress, depression in the office. You're not slaves, we're human beings. And see, that's how AI will help so much. They literally help humanity cut down the repetitive tasks so that you're free.
Do you find yourself repeating a certain phrase or mantra repeatedly to clients that they identify this with you?
Yes, take action. No matter, you can continuously watch all the reels in the world, you can read all the books in the world, self-help books, whatever. There's so much of information, but there is no implementation. There's hardly any implementation. So if you want transformation, take action. My mantra is action.
Action. Interesting. Yeah. So for someone who's listening and they feel stuck, they feel like they've hit a roadblock they are not able to overcome, what would you like to say to them?
Come to me. I will see where you're stuck.
And what's the first step that you would recommend them to take?
Definitely the personal Akashic records and the business Akashic records. These two go hand in hand. They must be done if you want to know what is happening. I also add numeroscope. I also add astro birth chart. Why? Because sometimes you can be doing all the right things, but your name vibration is bringing you down. Every letter has a vibration. So what is that? So I even do that. Astro birth chart, because see, Akashic records will give you what your soul chose to do on earth, right? And the gifts that you brought along. So that is recorded in the Akashic records, plus all the negative things that you're doing that is stopping you from your divine blueprint. Once that is done, you also have a progress report card in the astro birth chart. That is, what did you do previous lifetime that you have to do something this lifetime. So you need to align. This is called soul alignment, because now what you have chosen to do at your soul level and what you have chosen because of your karmas have to be aligned. So I even have that. So it's a whole process. Then your mental blocks, then your emotional blocks, deep rooted any issues, subconscious programming. It's limitless, literally. It's a lot. If you want to go through your transformation, you cannot just say I want to do this and I'm going to have a change. This has been the journey and it works for the clients. This is how this system works.
Yeah, there are some coaches who just go through a fixed routine. Okay, today we're going to do this, this, this. But what I like about you is that you study the person, you understand them very deeply, and you tailor your program accordingly. What would you say to business coaches on the importance of understanding each of your client very deeply? Because one person may excel, as you said, in making money. The other person may excel in serving others. The other person may excel in building something. Or the other person may help in, may be excellent when he's given direction and to follow the direction. So what is your take on that?
So yesterday I had a client who has chosen compassionate work. And she's telling me that I'm not getting leads. I don't know how to get clients. I was like, listen, you've chosen compassionate work. And I'm telling you this today that you don't like marketing. You don't like sales. And she's nodding her head. Yes, I don't. Right? So for you to come to me to tell you to do marketing is the wrong thing. What you need is a partner who will do your marketing. Or join those platforms where they do the marketing for you and you get clients. Don't even think about getting into marketing. So every soul has a different way of manifesting. If you're going to tell a compassionate person who's doing divine work of compassion, no, with the willpower, with your mindset, we are going to set these goals and I'm going to make you do 100,000 affirmations so that you can reach, it's not going to work. You can't change a person's soul. You can change their mindset for a very short time, but it'll go back like a rubber band to whatever the soul chose to do.
Yeah.
So those coaches need to understand people from the soul level. That is important for bringing real transformation.
Yes. Like I can think of a recent example. Somebody who's very respected told this lady that, you need to be the face of the company. You need to perform. You need to do this. You need to do that in order to grow the company. But at the same time, she's a mother. She's a wife. She's got responsibilities at home. She can't do everything. But trying to follow that advice, she got completely burnt out.
Absolutely. See, there are clients of mine who have chosen to do work from the background. They don't like coming on stage. They don't like to be the face. They are the influencer behind the influencer. So they have chosen that work because it is for their soul's development. Now they are here to push the other person out. Now if that is the person's soul purpose, how can you make that person your face? That's not going to work. It'll never work. That's why it is so important to know what your soul purpose is. You're burning that person out. That is true.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time. We've gotten to know so much. I've learned so much. And it's been a very interesting conversation. Thank you. And this has been another interview at Creator Studio Goa.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And it was a pleasure. I enjoyed every moment of it.
Glad you liked it.